Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode. A new episode of Talking Tunes with Sean, where we chit-chat about everything music, right? Everything from albums to artists, bands, concerts, whatever. Answer questions. Today, I've been giving this one a lot of thought. I've been wanting to talk about this one for a while. Singers that, let me put it to you this way. Singers that are so unique and distinct with their vocals that I always say it like this. You can spot them in a crowd of 1 million people. There's nobody that sounds like them. As soon as you hear them, you know it's them. Absolutely 1 in a million, unique. It's them, as soon as you hear them. They stand out among the crowds. Now, I've listened to, across all genres, millions and millions and millions of singers and bands. Even when I had my recording studio going, before the whole pandemic, I had people coming in and letting me listen to their mixtapes, letting me listen to their demo tapes, and other singers come in, and I knew when they had it or they didn't have it. I produced a lot of records in my area. I actually produced a lot of rap groups. I hooked a lot of groups up in record stores. I did a lot of advertising. I got them in with a lot of clubs. And I've heard it all. I've heard so much. There's something about these musicians that stand the test of time. How many times I listen to a band and not saying nothing bad about them, not saying absolutely nothing that they're not talented or good, but they sound like 1 million other bands. You're like, oh, is that so-and-so? And then you find out it's some other band. They just sound all together. They sound like everybody else. They're so influenced that they sound exactly like them. And this other band will come out and they'll sound exactly the same. But there's an exception. You'll hear a singer or band, and it's just, there's something about them where, and it's not that they're not influenced from other bands, because they are. It's not that they're not inspired, because they are, but they make it their own. And there's something about them that you say, that's them. That's so-and-so. Whether it's a band as a whole or just a solo singer, it's something about that singer that stands out. They're just so damn unique. They have a voice that, it can't be replicated. The bands will try. I've heard bands try to be influenced and try to sound like these other singers. Just doesn't work. And we're going to get into a bunch of them because I want to save this as an ongoing thing that I come back to. So I narrowed it down to a few to talk about today because I don't want to just rush them. I want to talk about them. And this could be female and male. So I have to start this segment of the series off with Serj Tankian, which is now putting out solo records. He has before. He's putting out a solo EP, just did. He's from the band System of a Down. I've seen System of a Down about 7 times. I've met Serj 2 or 3 times at the Ozfest. Amazing singer. Listen, you could give somebody 100 bands to listen to. You're going to know when System comes on. You're going to know when Serj opens up his mouth. Even the whole band, you're going to know from the first guitar lick, from the first chord. It's just unique. Everything from, now, mind you, not just vocalists, also just the way you play the instruments, the whole band as a whole. But I'm specifically talking about the singer, Serj Tankian. Put him in a crowd of 1 million people. You're going to spot him. You're going to spot him when he opens up his mouth because there's nobody that sounds like him. System of a Down, Serj Tankian, these are like singers that you couldn't replace. You just couldn't. You wouldn't have the same effect. I've been listening to old Sergy for years. I'll never forget the first time I heard their first album. I was just blown away. Absolutely stunning. And I really wish that I could find the words to explain, how unique he is. With everybody I'm going to talk about today, your best bet is to listen to them. All right? The next person I want to talk about is Jonathan Davis. Now, the interesting thing about him is that he had a half-brother named Marky Chavez that sounded a lot like him. But I'm going to give that a pass because he's related. He was in a band called Edema. Now, Edema later got different singers, and it just wasn't the same. But when Edema came out with their first Get Inside You, Marky Chavez was just amazing singer, and he sounded so much like his half-brother. But Jonathan Davis, man, you could put him in another person. He's just so damn unique. The whole band, everything from Fieldy to Head to Monkey, all the way back when they had David Silveria on drums. And Ray is killing it on drums. But Jonathan Davis, you can't mimic that voice. You know what I mean? It's so unique, and you could spot him miles away. His whole style of singing, his whole movement on stage. Saw Korn about 40 times on stage. Met Jonathan about 10 times. I actually grabbed his mic one time. The girl mic that he has with the girl, and she's like stepping backwards, like with the wings. Jonathan Davis, amazing person, amazing singer. Was listening to them back when they were a local band in Bakersfield, had a demo tape. Listened to them in the days with when he was with used to hang out with Jay Gordon and all those guys from Videodrome and Orgy. Just an amazing guy. And another distinct singer is Maynard James Keenan from Tool. Wow. Unreal. I mean, there's so many bands that are inspired from Tool, and you hear it in Tool. Hey, listen, I'll give you an example. Because I nominated Maynard James Keenan as one of the best vocalists in my Singer Awards. I'm going to tell you this right now. A band that's really influenced from him, you can hear a lot of Tool, is Chevelle. And Chevelle is one of my favorite bands of all time. Pete, you could really hear a lot of Maynard influence in Pete, especially early Chevelle. Especially this newest Chevelle that just came out, like the song Peach. Maynard James Keenan is a stunning singer. I mean, everything from what he's done with Pussifer to A Perfect Circle. His vocals are unmatched. His range is unmatched. One of the bands that when I'm listening to their music, I have to listen to it with headphones because it's so atmospheric that it transports you into another world. It's like you got to zone out and you got to listen to their music because their tracks are long and their songs all flow into each other. I can't stress it enough what a talented singer he is. And he's just an inspiration. And last but not least for this segment, for this episode, because I'm going to have more of these in the future. I have a long list we're going to talk about. But last but not least, I have to mention it in this first episode for this first part here of unique singers. Has to be Zac De La Roca from Rage Against the Machine. Who the hell sounds like him? Except for him. His rappy, raspy, gritty voice. Angry voice. Angry! It's whatever he spits out of his mouth is like, I want to punch something. Something about Rage Against the Machine. I want to bust stuff and kick stuff in. In a good way. And you want to talk about catchy. There's not one album from Rage or one song that doesn't stick in your head. You can guarantee when you listen to a Zac De La Roca song, you're going to be... Everything from Tom Morello. Everything is catchy. Everything's going to stick with you. Listen to Zac. That's what I call unique. You look up unique singer in the dictionary. His face is there. Talking Tunes with Sean, everybody. I'm glad you joined me today. We got lots more episodes in the works. What do you guys... you know what? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys, man. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite unique singer that stands out to you? We got lots. I got another list I'm gonna talk about soon. You better recognize, you better get ready. Everything from rap to female singers to metal. I'm gonna be talking about these unique singers, but those I had to mention right away. You know, I couldn't start this series off, this mini-series, without talking about those singers, because those singers set the bar for uniqueness. Don't you agree? Tell me if you agree. Tell me if any of those singers or bands are your favorites. And who is a very standout, unique singer to you? I want to hear from the people of the Murray NJ08 Army. Take care, everyone. Until the next episode of Talking Tunes with Sean, rock on. I gotta mention Fred Durst of the almighty Limp Bizkit.